Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia, the Flaps, Bobby Dodd Stadium, home of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and the Ramblin' Wreck, hoping to rev up that engine. What an exciting matchup we have in store for you this afternoon, built around the pageantry, tradition, and everything that makes college football great. As we see a squad from the Big 12, the North Carolina Tar Heels, taking on a team from the ACC, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer alongside. Guys, we can't wait to see this game. Been looking forward to it all week. The Tar Heels ready to get this thing started and open the season. On the move from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
Agent George D. Burnell. Agent George D. Burnell.
Looking for a man, it's Kane. Just a short pass to the tight end. They stop him just a length or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on second down here. All right, guys, let's talk about Georgia Tech. The only important expectations are the ones inside the program, but when you start the season on the outside of the rankings looking in, it can give you a little bit of an edge, can it?
Yeah, they want to prove to everybody they should have been ranked coming into this year. These players are angry. They feel like they're being disrespected, and they want to make a point to the entire college football world with a big win today.
Yeah, and you hear it all off season, and you see it every year. The teams come out of nowhere, and they feel like they've got a lot of potential, a lot of high-ranked players on the squad, and they're going to put it together, and that they'll get themselves into those rankings.
They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
They've got it at the 36. It's a 1st and 10. Gives it on the option. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get those running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
And the Yellow Jackets now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Gets the back moving. Dropping back, it's King. Knew where he wanted to go with it, but couldn't find his target. It's incomplete. The Yellow Jackets are in a mess here on 3rd and a mile. He wants to change this route. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Makes the catch. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
I think as a play caller, you love to see your guys getting into a rhythm early in the game, right? 3rd down, you dial up the slant. It's a good route, a good throw. This offense is off to a nice start.
And the Yellow Jackets have their offense in high gear. To the air on 1st down. Throws to the tight end. Good hands in there by the defense to force the incompletion.
Man, you are rolling the dice every time you throw this guy's way. He is one of the best corners in the entire country. Everybody has their eye on him every single game. He does a great job breaking on that ball and forcing the incompletion.
Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Just keeps slinging it. Caught over the middle. It's Rivers.
A nice job by the QB there, timing out that drag throw. It's zone coverage, so he's got to make sure he gets it to his receiver in a window to allow him to catch the ball and then turn it upfield.
The Yellow Jackets come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. Looking downfield, it's King. Fires to the middle. He makes the catch. What a play there, and he rips off a big one all the way to the 16-yard line.
And And it's on third downs like this, if you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
And the Yellow Jackets, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive together. Motion from the back. Quarterback making checks. From the red zone, looking for a space. Quick strike complete. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. You know, sometimes even a short game like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that and take a shot down the field. And don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is dangerous. He makes one guy miss, he can take it to the house.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Trying play action. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
Well, on the opening drive of the game, establishing a rhythm and a cadence offensively is really, really important. They've done some good things on this first drive to put them in this situation. Obviously, you just threw an incompletion on second down. They're likely going to throw it again here right now. Quarterback has just got to settle in. Timing is important. Get rid of the ball on time. Trust your read and execute this passing play if you're throwing it.
Dropping back, it's King. He wants it all. Right through his hands. He had a touchdown and just didn't work the ball in. It'll be fourth down. They'll send out the kicker to try to salvage this drive. And the try is no good. And after the miss, guys, the score stays right where it is.
And sometimes I just feel like fourth down, man, just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss-make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
Looking for space. It's Gauze. Wide open spaces. Now they've got even more breathing room out to the 31 and a fresh set of downs. It's a 1st and 10. He's got it on the right. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
Well, if you're going to get first downs against this defense, you're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to make people miss. This is an excellent tackling unit. You saw it on that last play.
They're dealing with a second and long. He'll keep it himself. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line. A loss of 1.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
And the Tar Heels will line up to punt it away. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. Fields to punt and tries to help improve that field position. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return gets a little bit of ground for the offense. First play of this drive comes from the 35-yard line. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
That's a great job by the defense, but I don't think the quarterback made the right decision on that RPO. It looked as if the defense was expecting run. They had the box crowded. That's when the quarterback, I think, needs to hold on to and then throw downfield.
The Yellow Jackets with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Now he's going to break the pocket. Rolling right and going deep. He's got it. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter.
Here we go, set.
Looking downfield, it's King. Rushes on him. And the pass falls incomplete, and we are through one quarter. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with second down.
Here we go, here we go.
Looking for a crease. It's Haynes. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
And the Yellow Jackets are way behind the sticks on this third and forever. From the gun, wants to pass. Hums it downfield. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
And that's the advantage right there of having your dime personnel on the field. You've got an extra DB. You've got an extra guy out there who's really good at covering. So for quarterbacks, you've got to be so good and precise with these passes because they've got speed in the back end. They're able to come away with the pick.
He'll start this drive firing. Trying to make magic on the scramble. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the big hit.
Hey, listen, it's important at that position to be able to be good off schedule. Everything's easy when it's on time. You get the ball out. But when things break down and they get off schedule, you've got to have a guy back there that can make the right decisions. He did exactly that.
They'll immediately call timeout.
Timeout, North Carolina.
The Tar Heels in a good spot here with second and short. Lopez wants to fire. Quickly complete. And it's a catch, but he's got enough for the first down.
Man, and we're seeing the tight end used more and more in the passing game. You see him move him inside. You see him move him outside. You see him move him in the box to block people. So here they put him in the slot and just have a nice little pitch and catch session.
Looking downfield on first down. He lets it fly. Hits him in stride at the 10. They make the stop, but not before he sets them up with a first and goal from the 10. And the Tar Heels come to the line in the hurry-up. Corners right up on that line of scrimmage. Wants to go up top on first down. Here comes the heat. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
And I really like the decision by the quarterback there. And listen, it's early in the downs. Like, don't force it. Don't make a turnover. He tucks it, get what you can get, and then live to play the next down. I like that execution by the QB.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Ship. He's down at the 1, and they almost had the touchdown pass on that one.
I like the aggressiveness by this defense. You've got to play tight on the wide receivers. There's not a lot of space on the field. You've got to be aggressive, and you've got to make tackles.
They keep nudging it closer, but now it's third and goal from the 1. Quickly complete. Touchdown, UNC! Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone. They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. play fake, now to throw. Dances away to buy time. Finds a man on the left. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a first down.
Nice job by the receiver on the back end there, too. He sees his quarterback on the run moving, and he just works to get himself open to give his guy a place to throw the football. They're able to connect, and they keep the drive going.
Looking for room. It's Haynes. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard.
Love the job by the defense here with their eye discipline. That's an RPO. It can be tricky to locate the football, but they found the running back quickly. Those linebackers and DBs really came screaming down to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete.
And the defense catches a break on that one. And this guy's not a superstar, but he's pretty dang reliable. And we talked to them about this guy. Like, he's kind of the security blanket for the quarterback. And him to drop that football doesn't happen often. You take those lucky things when you can get them.
Looking to throw, it's King. Gets away. Looking to scramble. But now he's swallowed up, and he'll be knocked down for a loss on the trick play. The Yellow Jackets will punt this one away. Hauls it in, looking for space. Slips through the line. Well, they finally stop him, but he found some running room on that return and really helps out his offense to start this drive. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Looking to throw on first down. Working that left side now. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't get any yards, but that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw.
Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
Oh, it's a missed opportunity. You know the quarterback was excited. He saw man coverage. He thought he was going to have an opportunity to come up with a big play, but up front they could not protect him well enough.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Got him downfield. He's pushed out of bounds inside the 40 at the 38, and these guys are on the move.
Yeah, when you get that man coverage, most people are taught to have inside leverage. So that out route's there if your QB can put some air on it and throw it outside of the guy. But tight coverage, but a real...
Fires deep toward the end zone. And good coverage there to knock it away and deny the score.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls against this receiver and his speed. He's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know.
Turning on the Jets. Makes the grab almost to the first down marker, but a good pickup on that one.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
The Tar Heels come to the ball trying to pick up this third and short. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. And the Tar Heels are stopped, but not before getting it past the sticks. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Lopez to pass. Going for it all. Pass falls incomplete, and there are still 3 seconds left.
And we've already seen this movie early in this football game, and he already has a touchdown, and they're seeking him again. And there's a reason. He can run, right? Like, he's one of their go-to guys on the outside, and you can tell they're trying to use him early and often in this offense.
And in the closing moments of the first half, they'll try to put a 3-spot on the board. He's going to try to punch one through from 45 yards away. That one was leaking and losing altitude fast, but it made it home. And that lead grows even bigger. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Yellow Jackets will kick it away to start the second half. Fielded in the end zone. It's Taylor. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. Wants to throw on first down. Pressure coming. Escapes trouble. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
For a pass rush, it's all about constricting the quarterback and just pushing these offensive linemen, moving them backward and building that fence around the QB so there's nowhere for him to go. QB was able to make a few guys miss, but he inevitably went down.
Makes the grab. It's Johnson. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm.
Lopez wants to fire. Got his man. He's going to come up about 5 yards short of the line to gain.
Well, this offense knew coming into this game they wanted to try to attack the middle of the field in the passing game, and they're able to execute the in-route there.
The Tar Heels will call on their punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He will not make a fair catch. Field the punt and bring it back. Coverage team able to put a stop to that return at the 42-yard line. They'll start this drive from the 42. On the option. He'll toss it. And that might have been a bad read as the defense just swarms all over the pitch man.
And that just looked off. The timing, the rhythm, I don't know what it was, but usually that option, man, it's so precise, right? Like really quickly making a read, and you could tell they weren't on the same page. It went absolutely nowhere. Defense won that round.
Finds his tight end. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup.
Well, a nice completion there, finding the tight end. And what's so beautiful about that is while they didn't get the first, they were able to pick up enough yards now to make the third down manageable, really putting this offense in a good position.
Fakes the grab on the left. They'll move the chains. Good execution on third down. They've got it at the 41.
And it's tough on the defense there. Third down, you're in zone coverage. Everybody's watching the quarterback, and you're trying to make a break on the ball, but he just got it out of his hands too quickly, and the throw was too accurate. Really nothing you can do there, and it's now a fresh set of downs.
And this one's not working. He'll just throw it away.
And that was good defense again, and unfortunately we've been saying that all game long. Really, really good defense. Or, listen, you can spin on the other side. This offense has really been bad.
Wants to adjust the pattern. Looking for a man. It's King. Lofts one high and deep. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
Quarterback could not have walked that ball and placed it into the hands of his receiver any better. That was a perfect throw. Wide out, deep downfield. You got to finish the play.
On third and long, he has to throw for it. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
Third and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, fourth down.
Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. They'll decline the penalty here and let the result of that play stand. The Yellow Jackets will send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Not able to pop the big return, but they've got the ball back and ready to go with a fresh possession. A little wrinkle here as they go to the Wildcat and use the extra blocker. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Snap to the back. He's loose. They found a little running room out of the Wildcats, still short of the first down marker. And the Tar Heels with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. On the option. He'll pitch it. Turning it on. And he caught that pitch in stride and was off to the races. A big gain and a first down for this offense.
Well, this is an offense that has a lot of speed, and they have different guys they would love to get the football to in space, and they can find a lot of different ways to do that. I love the idea of going option here and trusting your quarterback to make the right read. If no one accounts for the pitch, man, he's going to get it to the outside, and you see the speed on the perimeter. Really clever play call that time by the O coordinator.
And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Lopez to pass. Escapes them. And the defense is there. He got away for a second, but not for long as they knock him down for a loss. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On the ground, it's Hall. Oh, a lot of space. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
Oh, they're after him. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Another incompletion, and I've said that a lot, and these teams are just struggling. I mean, the offense just doesn't know what to do. Nothing's working, ground game, throw game. It's kind of been a rock fight on both sides.
Oh, he dropped it. And he was able to get back on top of his own fumble. They knock him down finally, but boy, he was trying to make something out of that, and he stopped short of the first down marker. So after reviewing the undisputable video evidence, the replay booth has decided to overturn the call. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Goes to the option. He'll toss it. There he goes. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this third period. Final standings of the game, and we'll start with the first down. Catch in the middle, it's Johnson. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line.
I I think that time offensively, you're just trying to take what the defense is giving you, right? They're playing zone coverage. You got your big fella just working right over the ball. It's an easy pitch and catch. Just take the profit and let's keep going.
And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the
offense coughs it up. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. Gets a turnover.
It's a big mound to climb, but the defense helping themselves out by getting that takeaway. They're going to need a few scores now, but you needed something positive to happen. You needed the momentum to shift, and I think the defense just did that by getting the takeaway.
Running back searching for a hole. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front seven has dominated this entire game.
And it seems to be a lot easier for the quarterback to find this guy than it is for the defense.
Yeah, and I think this is a guy, Reese, that you can split him out. You can feel comfortable getting the football as many ways as possible because he is one of those matchup problems. Linebackers aren't going to be able to run with him, so try to find ways to maximize that little guy's speed and athletic ability.
Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on fourth down. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. They're throwing for it on fourth down. Got the quick pass. He goes out of bounds, couple yards short of the 20. They'll mark it at the 18. And the Yellow Jackets come to the line with a new set of downs. He might want another play. Off the play fake on first down to throw. That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete. So now it's second and long. He wants to throw it again. Takes a hit as he fires. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
All right, you've dug yourself a little bit of a hole offensively. You know you're going to have to throw it here in the second half. You're going to have to make sure, though, you do a better job up front with your pass pro. You got to keep your quarterback standing upright.
Fires left. He's got an open man. Really nice job there to pick up the first down and get it to their own 41.
I'll tell you, you cannot count this team out because of who's playing quarterback. When this guy's in the game, it's never over. Yeah, they're trailing here in the fourth quarter, but this dude can put up points quickly.
Throws for the tight end. A strike downfield. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down. Tune in to the Ocho. 8th play of the drive coming up. To the air, it's King. Flushed out of the pocket. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game, but when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well? You just saw in that last play how dangerous he is after the catch.
They'll run for it on third and short. The Yellow Jackets get enough for the first down.
Well, it's a nice job handing off to him and getting the first down, but with the scoreboard looking how it does, you've got to throw the ball. You've got to go hurry up, you've got to get plays run quickly, and you've got to throw it down the field to get back in this game.
Wide open downfield. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. A great catch and run for 6.
Well, the good news is you scored a touchdown. You made this a one-possession game. The bad news is you got to get the ball back. So if you're the head coach, you got to start thinking, how are we going to do that? Are we going onside kick, or do we trust our defense to get it back to the end?
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Terrific showdown this week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on. Michigan is getting smoked. This is unexpected. This is alarming. And I've been on social, and their recruits are definitely taking notice. They're trailing by 21 to Florida State. We are the eyes and ears of the college football fan, and we've got you covered all day here in the studio, guys.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Wide receiver comes in motion. He'll do it himself. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. As they come to the line on 2nd down, ordinarily you might go up top, but they need to keep this one on the ground, keep that clock winding. Caught in the backfield. It's Gauze. Oh, he's got some space. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the second half. Here's 1st and 10. Smart move to keep it on the ground. And he was able to get away from one tackle, but plenty of help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play.
These situations are preached so much in college football. Finishing a game strong, understanding circumstances. They are running the football right at you, trying to keep that clock moving, get a few first downs, and get a W.
They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a 1st down. Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming. And the quarterback's just going to take a knee. This was hardly an offensive juggernaut, but sometimes you lean on your defense and grind out a win.
This was a defensive struggle, no doubt about it, but we know this is a team game, and the defense certainly did what they needed to do. The offense just barely did enough. That's the important part, and David, moving forward, they're going to have to play better on that side of the ball.
I think it looked more like an offensive struggle, not a defensive struggle. They definitely brought their A game, but listen, all you needed was enough points. Win, advance, build some confidence, find some things with this offense down the road that you do better.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.